What is up, everybody? I wanted to come to you guys today with my AEW review from last night's AEW Rampage show last night on TNT. Man, man, this was a really good show. I mean, AEW put on a really good show last night. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the opening of the show with CM Punk. Man, the winds. The quote JD from NY. The winds of change are happening, folks. And if you don't believe it, man, you need to get on board because the winds of change are absolutely changing, man. Last night when CM Punk came through the curtain last night on AEW for his debut last night on Rampage, the place absolutely exploded. I mean, that place was loud. I mean, I've never heard that loud of a pop in my life. That pop that CM Punk got last night on AEW was a really, really loud pop. I mean, oh my God. I mean, it was loud on TV. It was loud, man. That, I mean, Chicago, you guys blew the roof off of that place last night in Chicago, man, for CM Punk's debut. You guys absolutely blew the roof off that place. You guys were loud, and I could hear you guys. You guys were absolutely tone deafening, man. You guys were loud. You guys were chanting loud. I mean, you guys blew the roof off of the place last night in Chicago for the debut of CM Punk in his hometown of Chicago last night during AEW Rampage. You guys absolutely blew the roof off the place, man. I've never heard that loud of a pop in my life. That pop was loud. I mean, and like I said, man, I'm gonna quote JD from NY, man. He said it last night on his review as well. The winds of change are happening, guys, and if you guys ain't on board, you better get on board because I mean the winds of change are being felt. The winds of change are happening, and if you guys ain't on board, man, you guys need to be on board because the winds of change is happening, guys, and it is real. It is happening. And I will say, and I agree with JD from NY about what he said last night on his review that WWE is in trouble now that AEW has acquired CM Punk. They WWE is in big trouble, and the winds of change are starting to be felt, guys. The winds of change are starting to be felt. I mean, when CM Punk walked through the curtain last night on AEW Rampage, you guys in his hometown of Chicago, you guys blew the roof off of that Chicago stadium last night. You guys absolutely blew the roof off that place. That was the loudest pop I have ever heard in my life, man. That pop was loud as ever. I mean, that was the loudest pop I've ever heard, and I don't think there will ever be another pop to resemble that. The one that happened for CM Punk last night in his hometown of Chicago last night. I don't think another pop will ever resemble what you guys did for CM Punk last night. That pop was the loudest pop I've ever heard. I mean, you guys, that pop was off the chart, man. You guys were absolutely loud, bro. I mean, and I agree with JD from NY about two things. One, the winds of change are starting to be felt, and like he said, man, if you guys are not on board, you guys need to get on board, man, because we're getting professional wrestling back. And I agree with JD about that. JD from NY about that too. That we're getting back to professional wrestling. We're getting professional wrestling back, and I like that, man. I like going back to the old days of which we have missed for so long, man. I mean, what CM Punk did last night, AEW made history, and I'm glad I'm glad I got to watch history being made last night on television, man. I'm glad I got to be a part of your guys' history last night of CM Punk and his debut last night, man. This is gonna be a real game changer for the wrestling industry. This is a huge game changer in CM Punk, and then sooner or later, Daniel Bryan's coming down the road. Sooner or later, Ruby Soho's coming down the road. I mean, guys, AEW, the winds of change are starting to be felt all throughout the wrestling world, man. The winds of change are starting to be felt. And I mean, last night, you that was a game changer. WWE is in trouble. That last night told you that WWE is in fact in trouble. Now that CM Punk is in AEW, and that's a huge game changer for AEW. That's going to give them ratings. That's going to give them pay-per-view buys. That's going to help them out. That's going to help out their locker room. I mean, CM Punk coming into AEW, that is a huge game changer, man. And I love that pop for CM Punk last night in Chicago when he walked through the curtain and he went to his knees and he did like this right here. And he was like this, man. That dude almost wanted to cry. You could see it in his eyes. He wanted to break down and cry, man, because you guys showed him so much love. You guys just absolutely blew the roof off of that place last night during his debut in Chicago. I mean, when CM Punk made his debut last night, oh my God, man. That pop was absolutely huge, man. I felt that. I felt the winds of change. I really did. And the winds of change are starting to be felt all over the wrestling landscape. We're getting back to professional wrestling. CM Punk is giving us back professional wrestling for which we have missed for so long, man. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens with CM Punk here going forward in AEW. I can't wait to see what happens with him. But man, I really loved the pop that CM Punk got last night in Chicago during his debut in his hometown of Chicago. That pop was absolutely insane. And then, so to start off, like I said, to kick off AEW at CM Punk, and he got the loudest pop of the night. I've never heard a pop that will ever resemble the pop that CM Punk got last night in his hometown of Chicago during his debut last night. And then we had Jay Cargill versus Kiera Hogan. It was a squash match, ain't much to say. Jay Cargill, absolutely, she squashed Kiera Hogan in under just a minute. There was nothing to it. So, and then we had Jurassic Express versus Private Party in a tag team match. This was probably the best match of the night last night on AEW Rampage between Jurassic Express versus Private Party last night in a tag team match last night on AEW Rampage. This was a pretty good tag team match, man. This was probably one of the best match of the. This was probably one of the best matches on the show last night between Jurassic Express and Private Party last night on AEW Rampage. This was a really good tag team match between these two tag teams last night on AEW Rampage between Jurassic Express and Private Party. These two absolutely went out and tore the house down in a really good tag team match last night on AEW Rampage in Chicago. These two tag teams absolutely had a really good match. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. It was a fun match to watch. It's probably one of the better tag team matches on AEW that I have seen throughout AEW right now. last night. That tag team match was really, really good between Jurassic Express and Private Party. And Jurassic Express ended up picking up the win over Private Party last night on AEW Rampage. And then we had the main event, which was Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia. So this was the main event last night of AEW Rampage between Jon Moxley and Daniel Garcia. This was a pretty decent to okay main event. I mean, I like Jon Moxley. I'm a huge Jon Moxley fan. I don't know much about Daniel Garcia. I've never saw him in the ring, so but he gave Jon Moxley a pretty decent match. It went back and forth between Moxley and Daniel Garcia last night. It was a decent match. I mean, it was a decent main event for what it was. I mean, I didn't. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, I just don't know. I couldn't really get into Daniel Garcia. He's just not. He's too much of a technical wrestler for me. I'm not into technical chain wrestling. If you're a fan of that, God bless you. I'm not. The thing about Daniel Garcia is he's a chain wrestler, which is okay, but I prefer the wrestling style of a Jon Moxley. You know, somebody like him, like Jon Moxley. That's the wrestling style I prefer. I don't prefer chain wrestling and hold wrestling and all that. I can't get into it. I mean, but this main event of AEW Rampage last night between Jon Moxley and Daniel Garcia was pretty decent. Jon Moxley ended up picking up the win over Daniel Garcia by a Bulldog choke. This was a pretty decent main event for AEW Rampage last night for AEW. This whole show was built around the debut of CM Punk anyway. I'm just going to be completely honest here. This whole show was built around the debut of CM Punk, which we all knew. So that's the only thing that really made this show really worthwhile was the debut of CM Punk, which I really liked. I really enjoyed seeing CM Punk debut in his hometown of Chicago last night. I thought the pop was absolutely insane. I love that pop that you guys gave him last night in his hometown of Chicago during his debut last night on AEW. I thought that pop was absolutely one of the loudest pops I have ever heard. I've never heard a pop like that in my life. That was one of the loudest pops I've ever heard, man. I don't think another pop will ever resemble what pop. I don't think another pop will ever resemble the pop that CM Punk got last night on his debut last night in his hometown of Chicago last night on AEW Rampage. So my thoughts on the show, I thought it was about an 8 out of 10. I liked the CM Punk debut, and I liked the tag team match between Jurassic Express and Private Party. Those two things I liked about the show last night. So I'm going to give AEW Rampage a 8 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good show. I did thoroughly enjoy it. I thought it was a pretty good show. I did get to enjoy the show. I liked the CM Punk debut. That was what I was really hyped about during the show last night, was the debut of CM Punk coming out to kick off the show for AEW Rampage for his debut. I really thought that was really, really cool. But overall, I'm going to give AEW Rampage last night a 8 out of 10. If you guys like this AEW Rampage review, hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. And guys, tell me what you guys thought about AEW Rampage last night. Did you guys like the debut of CM Punk last night on AEW Rampage? Let me know about that down in the comment section below. Did you guys enjoy seeing CM Punk last night on AEW Rampage? And did you guys like the debut of CM Punk last night on AEW Rampage? Let me know about this down in the comment section below. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching this AEW Rampage review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So Overall, I'm going to give AEW Rampage a 8 out of 10. This is my thoughts and opinions on AEW Rampage last night. I thought it was a really good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was fun for the most part with the CM Punk debut and the really good tag team match between Jurassic Express and Private Party last night on AEW Rampage. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this AEW Rampage review, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell for all notifications. And I will see you guys back here tonight for the SummerSlam review. Until then, you guys have a good day. I'll see you guys tonight for the SummerSlam review. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace, guys.